Hello friends, today we're going to mood read for the week. I originally planned to make this video a reading vlog of my newest book that I just bought, which is Assistant to the Villain. However, I've recently discovered that about half my TBR is on Kindle Unlimited. So I have a lot of books to choose from and a lot that sound really good. And I'm not sure which we're going to start with. We're going to decide right now. So first, obviously, we have Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. And look at the cool edges. I might postpone this one till October because I have other books to read. This would be a good October read. Very Halloween-y. It's like a girl literally gets a job as an assistant to a villain and then starts to fall in love with him. So that's the first possibility. The second is They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. I actually got this from a blind date with a book at Barnes & Noble. It's about a professor at a university who each year chooses the worst man on campus and kills him. So that sounds really, really good. Now we're going to get into the Kindle options. The first book from Kindle Unlimited is Curse of Shadows and Thorns by L.J. Andrews. It's enemies to lovers of like fae and rival families. Okay. It's a forced marriage of convenience kind of rival families situation, which looks quite good. It's the first in the Broken Kingdom series. Then we have All Downhill Without You by Julie Olivia. This one is what's a sport? Oh no, it's not a sport. Oh, okay. This is the first in the Honeywood book series. It's an enemies to lovers romance that takes place at a theme park. I loved the Dreamland Billionaire series by Lauren Asher, who has a new book coming out. That's another billionaire series that looks so good in November. But All Downhill with You is a very similar thing where she works at an amusement park. That's obviously just going to be Disney in my head, just like Dreamland was. And she's the head of marketing. And one of the rides breaks down while she's on it. And the guy is the son of the CEO, but he's also the head mechanic. And so he decides he's going to stay for a couple months and renovate the whole ride. And they like fall in love. I think the specific thing that got me was like when their handshakes start to get too long and his thigh tenses next to hers under the table, like love ensues or something. Oh, really good. Then we have The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. It's about a detective who has a secret from his past, like something traumatizing that happened to him in high school. And then his English teacher comes to him as like a private detective and wants his help finding out if her husband is cheating. But then he finds 2 dead bodies in a house that's for sale. It's all correlated somehow. And he's always very, very good. So I'm not worried about that. Twisted Love by Anna Huang, I think. I've been wanting to read this book forever. I was shocked that it was on Kindle Unlimited. So I'm really, really tempted. Although the Kindle cover is hideous. We'll Meet Again by Kelsey Painter. It was like recommended as a if you love Ted Lasso book. So it's a soccer player from the MLS who gets a job as a player in the Premier League and falls in love with the like legal help. What did they call her? Legal, because she's not a lawyer. She hasn't been to law school. Legal. She helps the legal side of things. Then we have Oxford Wild, where the girl grew up like in a cabin in the middle of nowhere and decides to go to Oxford and meets um her advisor, and he's grumpy. Next. I have a type, okay, and I understand. Next, we have Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. This one is also an arranged marriage. The cover is beautiful, like so pretty that if I like this series, I will be buying them just to display them. It's a mafia book. I believe it's an arranged marriage between like two rival mafia families, which I love. Then we have The Bribe by Devney Perry, who wrote the. Oh no. What's their names? Eden. The Eden series. So this is the first book in that series, and it's about a guy who's a sheriff. I love a sheriff who finds a girl in the woods. She's like facing down a buffalo and saves her, and then like she leaves, and then he finds her again, pulling her over for speeding, I would assume, and finds out that she lied about her name and who she was, and turns out that she's a famous country singer who disappeared 2 weeks ago, and she tries to bribe him to not look into it or find out why she's missing, and he doesn't want her money, he just wants answers. Then we have, some Lucy Score options. I just finished reading, oh no, why do I can't, it's the Things We Never Got Over series, Things We Had from the Light, and then Things We Left Behind. I devoured that almost 600-page book in hours. It was so good. So I decided to look up if any of her books are on, and there's the beginning of 2 series that I grabbed. It's Riley Thorne, The Dead Guy Next Door is the first one. So she, for some reason, moves into an apartment complex with like a ton of elderly people, and the detective in town is investigating a murder that happened in the building, and I assume they fall in love and solve the murder. So that one's a really good option because Lucy Score writes great romance, and it's a murder mystery. Okay, then we have Pretend You're Mine by Lucy Score. So it's about a guy named Luke who's a member of the National Guard, and he's got a month before he deploys, and his family's on his back about having a girlfriend, and so he fake dates this girl named Harper, and then they have like a one-night stand, and then feelings get involved, and it's a mess. Then we have another Lauren Asher, not another Lauren Asher book. This is her F1 driver series, so the first book is called Throttled. Noah Slade is a Formula One legend in the making, focused, unapproachable, ruthless, on and off the track, a man with walls higher than the Grand Canyon, and my brother's new teammate, that's right. I want more of the prince who disguises himself as the villain. But he's off limits. But he says, all fair is in lust and war. Then we have Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. That was a very highly rated book, I think, by Sarah Corrali. It makes me, I feel like I've been telling myself it's like Fourth Wing, but she hasn't read Fourth Wing, to my knowledge at this time. Oh, yes, okay. When 2 young rival journalists find love through a magical connection, they must face the depths of hell and a war among gods to seal their fates forever. After centuries of sleep, the gods are warring again, but 18-year-old Iris Winnow just wants to hold her family together. Her best bet is to win the columnist promotion at the Oath Gazette. Oh yeah, this was quite weird. This is why I haven't picked it up yet. To combat her worries, Iris writes letters to her brother and slips them under her wardrobe door, where they vanish into the hands of Roman Kit, her cold and handsome rival at the paper. When he anonymously writes Iris back, the two of them forge a connection that will follow Iris all the way to the front lines of the battle for her brother, the fate of mankind, and love. See, that's my issue. That's why I haven't picked it up. I can't handle catfishing or anonymous letters. It really upsets me. especially like I hope like if in the book if you get both POVs. Ugh. Anyways, we also have Rock Paper Scissors by Alice Feeney. This one I picked up because it had a lot of good ratings from booktubers I follow, and it apparently has like short chapters, and every chapter ends in a cliffhanger. Think you know the person you married? Think again. Things have been wrong with Mr. and Mrs. Wright for a long time. When Adam and Amelia went a weekend away to Scotland, it might be just what their marriage needs. Oh, that looks good too. Then we have Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. To be completely honest, I solely picked this one because of the cover. So let's see what it's actually about. She's off limits, but he's never been good at following the rules. Okay, the other one is The Discovery Center by Liz Hambleton. It's about a world in which when you get married, you're only married for 5 years, and then you can decide if you want to stay together or get divorced. The last one is Magnolia Parks by, who is that by? Jessa Hastings. This one I've heard very like mixed reviews about, but Sarah Crawley loves it, and I trust her with my life. So she is a beautiful, affluent, self-involved, and mildly neurotic London socialite. He is Britain's most photographed bad boy who broke her heart, but they're meant to be, and everyone knows it. They're in the stars, just suspended in a strange kind of love that looks like hurting each other a lot. She dates other people to keep him at bay. He sleeps with other girls to get back at her for it. But at the end of their very sad endeavor to get over one another, it's still each other they crawl back to. Okay, so that's all of the books that I have to choose from. I think it's going to be a Kindle book. I don't know what kind of mood I'm in. It's hard to do a mood reading video, and I don't know what mood I'm in. I read ACOTAR and I'm obsessed with it, and I'm like rereading, reskimming it right now to annotate it. But I also just finished Things We Left Behind. So that was a romance. It was really, really good. Enemies to Lovers. So maybe just in the enemies to lovers place in my life right now. You know, Twisted Love is calling out to me. I queued up Twisted Love. Let's read the description of that again. Alex Volkov is a devil blessed with the face of an angel and cursed with a past he can't escape. Driven by a tragedy that's on him most of his life, his ruthless pursuit for success, vengeance, leaves little room for matters of the heart when he's forced to look after his best friend's sister. Despite her she's trapped by nightmares of a child that she can't remember, but despite her broken past, she's never stopped seeing the beauty in the world, including the heart beneath the ice exterior man she shouldn't want. Theirs is a love that was never supposed to happen, but when it does, it unleashes secrets that could destroy them both and everything they hold dear. Well, that's what I'm reading first. Hopefully this lasts longer than that, but I am going to read Twisted Love next, and I will give you guys updates. It's Tuesday now. I read about half the book yesterday. I'm pretty sure I'm just over 50% on the Kindle. It's very, very good. If I had to predict right now what I would rate it, it'd probably be 3 stars. Just like, you know, a decent romance, morally gray character. But I do think that there's a lot of like things that need to be like wrapped up in the next little bit, at least before the end, hopefully. So I think that might kick it up to a 4, but right now it's just kind of like, it's cute, it's funny, it's also heartbreaking, so it's very good. I'm already looking forward to the second book in the series. I actually don't know if this is true at all, but maybe one of the books in the series, I think it's going to have one of her friends and another guy that we just met, and I already am rooting for them, so I'm hoping that that's another book. But yeah, so far so good. It's definitely a good mood read. I just was devouring it yesterday, so let's see what happens. It's Wednesday. I finished Twisted Love yesterday. My final rating is I'm very conflicted about this, but I liked it. I liked it a lot. I'm gonna say 4 stars. It didn't give me that 5-star feeling, but it was very good. And like I predicted, like the plot that wasn't the love story, like picked up, and it was really good. Like a lot of plot twists, a lot of like great stuff. It's just like one of those things where I'm like, do I hold against the rating of the book the fact that I don't know if I could forgive the man for what he did? Or does that have nothing to do with like the rating of the book? It didn't affect my enjoyment. I was just kind of like listen, I understood it was morally gray. I didn't know how dark gray Alex Volkov was. And it was a little scary. But I think 4 stars. I downloaded Twisted Games, the second book in the series, and I'm 25% of the way through that. Right now, I think I like the couple in this one more than in the first one, but it's also 25% of the way through, so I don't know any of the dark secrets that like got revealed in the last half of the last book, so we shall see what happens, but I just love a fictional man with black hair named Reese. I finished Twisted Games. 5 stars. I loved that. I liked that more than the first one. I liked the couple more than the first one. They're so cute. They're so cute. I did have a brief scare where I thought that something terribly gross happened, but it was explained and I'm okay. But that was 5 stars. That was amazing. I cried at the end. Some of the lovey things that were said. And I downloaded Twisted Hate, which is Jules and Josh, so the first girl's brother and the first girl's best friend who's in the friend group. So that'll be interesting. These are all like enemies to lovers, which I'm not complaining. I'm just stating. So I'm gonna read that one next. I wanna dress up as Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce this Halloween. That's such a good idea. Only if I get to be Travis. Okay, I have zero idea what the last thing I filmed was. It's now Monday. I think my last clip was like Wednesday. I think I was in the middle of the third book in the Twisted series. I think. So let's give my final review on that. I ended up giving this one 3 stars, and it's my least favorite. I don't want to give any spoilers, but the main reason that it was so few stars, I really liked it, and I really liked them together, but there is a scene that I personally would categorize as extremely dubious consent, and it was just... It was a little bit disturbing, I'm not gonna lie. I was like reading it and I was like, is this actually happening? Like, it felt like he was the only guy. It's like the first girl's brother. And he's like a med student, ER doctor. So he kind of felt like the only one who wasn't morally gray at all. Well, until this event. Like, it felt like she like needed something to make him like dubious, and I mean it worked, and then we just kind of like we move on from it and nobody like addresses like how sick and twisted it was. And it made me so uncomfortable, so uncomfy. Okay, then I read the 4th book in the series, which is Twisted Lies. I gave that one 4 stars. This one is between Stella and Reese's friend who owns that bodyguard company he worked for. This one was really good. It was one of those where it's like, if you're gonna say like I'd kill for you, but then like he does, it's a little bit kinky. I really, really liked it. I thought Stella was a very sweet character. The plot twists were kind of like crazy. Like I couldn't really like in the other books you kind of know what the people's secrets are like throughout it and you're waiting for it to happen or be revealed. But with this one, the big reveal for him, I didn't know the whole time. I was flabbergasted, and the way it worked into the plot was just so upsetting, like in a well written way. And I just think that they're so, so cute together. I loved it. Okay, then I went ahead and read Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. Some mafia romance. I gave it 2 stars. I just felt like I didn't care the whole time. Like it's a mafia book with like an arranged marriage, like Romeo and Juliet, like feuding mafia families, and she does something to the family, and so to make up for it, they marry her off to the son. I just didn't like it. I I've read mafia books before, so it's not like the mafia aspect, it's just that I didn't care. Like I cared so little that I didn't even look at the rest of the series. I think there's a whole series about these people, and I was just like, I don't care. And they just like get over things too easy. Then I read Throttled by Lauren Asher. And I rated that one 3 stars. It's the beginning of a series, and I didn't feel interested in reading the rest of the series. Mostly because the couple that they talk about in the second book was kind of in the first book, and I did not like the girl at all. But this couple was very cute. I think my favorite character was the main girl's brother. 3 stars isn't a bad rating. It's just like a basic, classic, good romance. Well done. And right now, I'm reading The Bribe by Devney Perry, who wrote the Eden series. And so far I'm liking it. It's quite short. A lot of these books have been short, but maybe that's just because I've been reading ACOTAR and Lucy Score. I am 51% of the way through that book. I love the main guy. The main guy's name is Duke. He's a sheriff. I love that. He's very sweet. It's not what I was expecting. Like, it was no slow burn. No slow burn at all, which is fine. I haven't read a book without like at least a little bit of slow burn, a little bit like enemies to lovers. So I'm hoping it gives me a 5-star feel, but not sure yet. So I'll give you more updates when I finish that book, and then we'll probably wrap this video up. Hello friends, it is Thursday of the second week of this video, and I am on the 4th book in the Calamity series, Calamity Montana. So we'll go through those really, really quick and then wrap this up. So The Bribe, the one with the sheriff and the country singer, I ended up giving 4 stars. It was a very different read for me because it wasn't a slow burn at all. It was 3 stars until like the like subplot played out, and then it was just like shocking. The second one is between the country singer's best friend and grumpy single dad in the town. That one was also 4 stars. I loved it. It's a marriage of convenience. He's trying to get more custody of his daughter, and he's an ex-con, so he's at a disadvantage, but if he gets married, he's got a better chance. So they get married for that, and it's really good. And then the third one is called The Brazen is about a business owner, or like a real estate business owner in the town named Kerrigan, and her investor dies, and the grandson comes to collect all the debt, even though she had a verbal agreement for more time. type of thing. Um, it's really good. 4.5 stars. I can't give it a 5 star to give me a 5 star feeling, but it's my favorite of the series so far. I just think that both of their characters are so good. And this was the first time like a plot twist actually had my jaw on the ground in this series. Like the other ones were interesting, but not like shocking. The one in this one was shocking. And I adore this couple. Now I'm reading the next book in the series called The Bully, and I'm really not enjoying it at the moment. It's about, oh boy, it's getting like disconnected. Neither of these people are actually from Calamity, so it's the guy in the third book's female friend who's his was his assistant, is now vice president of the company, I believe. And they went to the same high school. Another person that went to the high school was quarterback for the Titans for 10 years, and after he just won the Super Bowl, he retired. Him and her hate each other. He bullied her in high school. And then they're just kind of randomly hooking up, and I just don't know if I can see this becoming an actual love story. Right now, I'd guess it's a 2 star, but the rest of the series is very, very good. As soon as I saw the bully, I was like, I don't know, but my issue's actually with the bullying victim because she is full on bullying him now. That was a couple weeks of mood reading with me. Unsurprisingly, for anyone who knows me, it was all romance, and it was also all on Kindle Unlimited, so that was very nice. I'll probably do a video about Kindle Unlimited and Stuff Your Kindle Day pretty soon, but I've been a real Kindle girl the past couple weeks. I haven't read a physical book in a couple weeks, which is strange for me. So I'll see you in the next video.